Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Old Ham Radio Cat just jumped down. Got a couple subjects we'll talk about this week. One thing, right off the bat, got a couple of shout outs to give. The other night, we was on a round table, and we've had a couple nights California's been open. And my beam was pointed east, and I heard a California station. He either said my name or he said, "Is that KB5MIQ?" And I got thinking that might be one of my subscribers, somebody listens to me. Well, Jeff went to talking to him, and I said, "Let me turn my beam around on you." I turned my beam around, and K6DJV, Kilo 6 Delta Juliet Victor, Derek, I AD'd with him. He said, "Hey, tell Tam Radio Cat hello." Hey, Derek's part of the 2 Meter Crew YouTube channel. Y'all check it out. Derek, good working you the other night, buddy. I appreciate you subscribing. And old Ham Radio Cat's running around here in my lap somewhere. Probably fix to jump up here, but good talking to you the other night. Check in with us anytime. Yep, there's old Ham Radio Cat right here up jumping around. And Chris Howell sent me something. I'm going to have the slide on here. The QRZ Jumpstart program for a new ham has been extended through June 30th, so it's a good way to help new hams out. So Chris, appreciate you sending it in. There'll be a slide on that. Also, we got the usual slides just on the ham shows and tailgate sale, Hamfest tailgate sale coming up. If you're in the Texarkana area on the 29th, the last Saturday in April, that's when our tailgate for the 4 States Amateur Radio Club is going to be out at Sportsman's Cove Marina at Wright Patman Lake. Check it out. There'll be information on the slides on here. Going to have some door prizes all throughout the day and a couple of main grand prizes. So looks like it's going to be a good deal. So I hope anybody out there can come by, and if I'll be there. If you see me, sure stop and talk to me. Enjoy talking to you. Got a couple of subjects today. I posted this in one of the Facebook pages. Said, I wonder how many licensed hams are too shy to pick up the mic and talk. Well, that's called mic fright. Various ways you can get out of it. This is my suggestions. Luckily, by the time I got in ham radio, I had got over my mic fright. I started out CBs as a kid in the 70s. Went in the military at 80 and got involved in comms in the 80s. Well, I was involved with comms through my whole career from 1980 to 2003, but I'd already been used to talking on radio, plus public service, fire department. Now, for a new ham starting out, I know it's intimidating to key a mic, try to make contact. You're afraid you're going to mess up, afraid you're going to say the wrong thing, whatever. Here's 2 tips, and this is probably the easiest way to get you over your mic fright. Number 1, listen. Tune around, listen to some QSOs, especially DX stations. Now, and it depends on that's for an HF. If you're just going to start out on local 2 meter repeaters, just listen to the repeater. Get a tune in how people ID on there and hear how the conversations go, and just mimic that. Next thing, take a chance, key that mic, get on there. You're going to make a mistake. There's no doubt in my mind you'll make a mistake, and probably some ham that shouldn't say it the way they do is going to admonish you for it. Look at the information they tell you, disregard how it's told if it's told in a not a very nice way. But honestly, I've seen more hams that wouldn't talk in public will talk on the radio Uh, we had Skywarn School back in the 90s, and there's probably 35 ham radio operators in the class. And the weather service guy kept asking if we had any questions. Nobody say anything. We left. They got on local repeater. They talked about it for the next hour and a half. Listened to it on repeater, but they wouldn't talk in person. So I agree, mic shyness is a thing, but just listen for a bit and take the plunge and get in there. You'll get over it and you'll have a good time doing it. The next subject, and this is kind of a touchy subject. Not touchy, but it's different. Uh, this guy's talking about how to keep in order to communicate with his family should comms go down. I had a lot of people ask me this in the last election. I don't know why the rumor got out. They thought they was going to shut the cell phones down or something. I don't know. As licensed amateur radio operators, we don't have access to these ham bands for strict our only use as hobbies. It's not as what it was ever set up to be. If you're a licensed amateur radio operator, you have your equipment ready to be used in a national emergency, public emergency, state emergency, and that's what we're all done. I've done it for. A lot of hams have done it. Well, these questions, and this ain't the only one, I'm seeing a lot of these questions pop up on social media, and to keep it as family friendly as possible, they're talking about when the defecation hits the oscillation situation, total moral breakdown of society or major blackout event where we lose EMS, police protection, whatever. Could be a short period of time, could be extended period of time. How are you going to communicate? Well, right off the bat, whatever plan you choose, if you don't have it in place and practice it before the event happens, it's not going to do you any good. I'm not going to tell you which way to go. I'm not. I'm going to give you a couple options. Everybody always looks to ham radio, and it's a good option. But, hear me out. I know that when that total breakdown of society happens, your license won't matter anymore. I realize that. But, gets back to the preparation part of it. If you're going to prepare, hey, ham radio cat, if you're going to prepare for this, and you're going to plan on using amateur radio, which means you're going to have to prepare and practice, which means everybody on both ends of the conversation will have to have an amateur radio license. All right? Something to think about. Whether you're using VHF, UHF, line of sight, or repeaters, and you better not plan repeaters into your action plan unless it's a repeater you plan to be able to control and power through solar power or some other means. Now, here's another option. GMRS. GMRS, well, I understand it. One person applies for a license and every family member can be on that one license. And you're limited to GMRS radios, but from what I've seen about them, they're about the same output wattage, and you have repeaters available that you can use for GMRS and UHF, VHF band. One license covers your whole family. If your communications requirements are, say, an average of 15 to 20 mile radius from your location, that'd be an option to think about. Now, a lot of people talk about having HF capabilities in that situation and talking. Now, I'm going to put my Army infantry hat on for a minute. If you're going to have that, something to think about is you're set up, the world's gone to crap. If you do a lot of talking, somebody's going to DF you and find your location. And that might not go well. Because I've already heard all the people talking about preppers being nothing but supply dumps anyway. Now, you need to have a plan. You know, not have only having radios and knowing how to operate them is one thing, but you need to have a communication plan where you're not constantly on the radio. Your transmissions are short to the point, and you don't say things like exactly where I'm at. It's unlike amateur radio where we tell people where we're at. So, and also, would you need HF in that type of situation? I don't know. It'd always be nice to have. The main thing you would need is a good shortwave receiver that receives all the low bands plus VHF, UHF. A little different video subject off the norm, but you see this subject come up in all these social media Facebook pages all the time. Only advice I can give you, pick a plan that you want to do for you and your family, but you're going to have to set it up before the event happens and have your plan in place. Because once the event happens, it's not much use in trying to worry about it from that point on. Guys, we're still sitting at about 872 on subscribers. I'm trying some shorts. I want to also tag one of my older videos in the description or in the pinned comments. I'm trying to learn how to do that. Where I did talk about emergency communications on a video for a couple of years ago. I'm going to pin that on here. Like what I'm saying, subscribe to the channel. And I don't know how to get my watch hours up, but I'm working on that. Remember MTC in Paris? He has got a ton of used gear up there. Matter of fact, HKV, Jeff bought a used shortwave receiver he's setting up with his old AM station. I think it was an old Drake receiver he bought off Richard up there. Got lots of stuff on there, and most of his stuff has a warranty, and it says on the item if it has a warranty or not. Be sure to check out all our upcoming Hamfest and tailgate sales, especially the 4 states when we got the end of the month. The roundtable slide will be on here with all the roundtable information. Shoot me a comment or an email. Any way I can help you or answer any questions, I'll be glad to. This is KB5MIQ Big Boy 73. And dadgum, I forgot to turn that on again. Hang on a second. Let me shut this thing off. I don't know why I forget this. Have a good